Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kim from Penang. Allow me to introduce myself. Thank you for having me in today's presentation. I would like to say a big thank you to Madam Sharupa for introducing me to this group. I was attending the India G-Meet Bed Yoga quite consistently every day for about 1 month. And one day, Sister Madam Sharupa contacted me and asked me would I like to do the presentation for the daily daily reading. So I earnestly said I would love to. And from there, it went on for 1 week. And after that, I was introduced to Madam Sudha and Madam Darshini. So I'm very blessed to be able to be here today. My journey into PVH is my talk today because it's a very, very vast subject. From whatever angles I may talk about. But my sharing won't be complete if I don't mention Doreen Gore, who has been my mentor and confidante. From the time we joined PVH, I know about PVH in 2017. And she passed on in March of 2020. So during that time, we have shared a lot of things. And then finally, I have to mention brothers Yo, whom you all know as Brother Yo, and I know as Brother Seng Bin. He has been my healing buddy, and we both shared a lot of discussions and in our journey into PVH. So I am a chartered physiotherapist by profession, and just briefly to tell you, for someone like me to have embraced the healing of PVH, because it has touched my heart, for as I have to heal my daughter at that time, you see, after my trip to Da Nang, and something happened to my daughter and the medical condition that ensued. But today's topic won't be about that because it will take a big chunk of my time on talking about healing her. That would be another aspect of my sharing of my testimonial in healing my daughter, who has the condition autoimmune, that the doctor said cannot heal. But I have rose to the occasion to pick up the wand to learn how to heal her. And coming from someone like me, who have been in medical practice for so long, to believe in the power of the healing wand. So I was in England. I left for England to study when I was 18 years old, you see. And I left my grandmother. She sponsored me for education. And during that time of my 10 years in England, I did my A-levels, studied physiotherapy, many years, 4 years, and then become a physiotherapist there. I had many attempts to be seeking in my spirituality. And all my life, I've been a seeker, from Christianity to Catholicism to eventually Bruno Groening. And finally, it's PVH, you see. I came to know about PVH in 2017. But I didn't really pick it up seriously at that time until really 1 year later, 1.5 year later, 1.5 years later, following my family trip to Da Nang, Vietnam, I looked at all the avenues for healing for my daughter, and that finally propelled me into healing per se and how I help my daughter. So that is another aspect I will later dwell in my future sharing, not today. So the one aspect of PVH is I hold very, very dearly is the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Paths. Many people have mistaken me for, so much reverence in that. But let me put my record straight. The Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Paths is evergreen. Buddhism is something that transcends all religions, all caste, all beliefs, because the aspect of birth, death, aging, sickness, and death. It happens to everybody. So this reverence of the Four Noble Truths by Siva Sir really resonates with me. And I have always been a seeker, as I told you. But finally, I chose my path to be a spiritualist rather than, a die-hard practitioner in Buddhism. I respect Buddhism as its core teachings, you see, because Dharma is evergreen. And the Eightfold Paths is our way of life, the Eightfold Paths. And I won't dwell too much into that because most of us already know, per se, what are the Eightfold Paths. But the one aspect I'd like to share is the Four Immeasurable Minds. That is loving kindness, metta, karuna, which is compassion, appreciative joy, which is mudita, and karuna, compassion. So we have to take that and embrace it in our daily lives because it helps us as a person. For a person, whether it's a healer or not a healer, these four qualities of the Four Immeasurable Minds is ever powerful, and it can enrich our lives. We have, Sir has actually talked at great lengths on the aspect of, of the soul and how we help them to elevate. And in PVH, I find the soul elevation is one aspect that is ever enriching and powerful that Sir has endowed us with the methods. And this is something that I would say the greatest dana a living person can help to help the souls out there. Because for them to see the light, eventually the mind has to be dissolved and to go to the causal body to be elevated. And this is something ever so powerful. And in my beliefs, in my practice, I know there's a taboo that people are very frightened of souls. They equate them as ghosts. But having been in PVH, it has enriched me to know that we are ever ready. I mean, when we embrace it the correct way, we have the tool to help them. And this is something that I personally have encountered in my lives. And again, it's too much to talk about in today's sharing. I have a few testimonials about my grandmother, my father, and my cousin, and some other souls that has come for help. And these I have furnished to Siva Sir, my testimonials. Sorry, I appeared to have, been disjointed in my thoughts, but I really look forward to my sharing, and I'm speaking it from my heart. So I try to speak as much as I can from my heart without resorting to notes or prepared scripts. So we have the greatest dana that we can do, which is to help the souls, yeah, by helping them to see the light. And I was very touched when Sir shared to us that his dear father, Mr. Palani, who has departed, has merged with the light, the divine light, which is the supreme light. And this is what Buddha has also. He has reached the divine light, the supreme light, and he is the Sama Sambuddha, never to be returned again. So like Sivasa's father, he revealed to us this precious knowledge that his father has been, elevated and never to be reborn again. So that is the greatest achievement, yeah, of one person soul to have achieved. But in Buddhism, Buddha also never talked about God or didn't reject God. So for me, I also look at the supreme light as the divine light, the ultimate intelligence, the supreme intelligence, the source, the creator, and you can call it by whatever name, yeah? And it's all universal, and we connect to it. And this is why my path to PVH has stemmed, you see, from this lineage of going towards achievement of the enlightenment. But we can always be achieving it in this lifetime. No need to wait until next lifetime. So in PVH, this beautiful teaching is so powerful because we connect to the divine by doing good, speaking good, and acting good. And divine connects to us with our eyes open, yeah? Not necessary, don't have to meditate, don't do chanting and all that. So all my life, I don't do all that. I was always a seeker, as I told you. And Bruno Groening also came into my life for a short while. But it was actually during the time of my daughter's event that really struck me that I need a more committed pathway to help myself. And PVH is one area that I have learned to help myself, because helping ourselves, hands is in our own hands, our health is in our own hands. So we are empowered with the greatest gift on Mother Earth, which is the healing wands, and make full use of it. And I have always told my daughter, the wands are worth its weight in gold, more than all the money and all the gold in the bank. And you are the walking miracle that God, that divine has bestowed for your healing. And Siva Sir's words really ring loud and clear to this day. He always told me, the doctor can say what they want, but as long as you have faith, belief, and commitment in your healing, everything will be okay. And I really believe his words. And right now, my daughter is doing fine. She has married, and tomorrow, and she's doing okay. And tomorrow is my grandchild's birthday, number 1 year old. So that is the greatest hurdle of my life, to heal her. No amount of words can say. But yet again, it's a big chunk of my testimony, so I will reserve it for the next episode. So coming to the my journey, my journey. It's a long journey, because I've always been a seeker, and to come to PVH in 2017 and really practicing it around seriously 2019. And now I can say I'm a very committed, and I do try my best to do my part as a healer for my daughter and my family. So I would say that is my main area. And also in PVH, we always heal the world, heal Mother Nature, heal animals, and that to me is one great area that we all explore, as we all know. And that area has actually enriched my life, because I not only heal my own family, but I do try my best to take part in whatever healing that is possible for mankind, for all creatures, great and small, and whatever, plants and animals, especially animals. It has touched my heart, heal the stray dogs around the taman when I see them, and of course do the necessary protocols. So healing takes place very, very much in my essence of life. I do spend a lot of time doing that, and trying to take part in whatever activities that are presented to us, G-Meet, Bed Yoga, etc. And indirectly, we heal the community at large. So just to tell you a bit more on what I have been doing these past few years, I did try to, I held park meetings from June the 1st, 2022 until lately, 2024 of November. So that park meetings also entails my Sunday meetings with my friends. So we were committed to heal Mother Nature, and we do whatever blessing we can do, group healing among ourselves, group healing, because we are serious practitioners, so we heal among us in the group. And that also is very touching to me, because what I know I shared with my fellow practitioners, my friends in the park. So that was slightly over 2 years exposure in me as a teacher, you see. I wouldn't say I'm a teacher, but in a way, most of us are. But one day my aspiration is to be a teacher one day, to share my knowledge, to teach, to share my experience in PVH, and I aspire to hold the tenets of PVH, Siva's teachings, uphold his teachings, his practice, the tenets of PVH in its purest form, as per what he has selflessly endowed us with his knowledge through his 7,000 plus videos. So that is my aspiration one day, to do that, to share to the society. It can start from very small group. As I said, it was my part meetings, but now it has stopped since November of last year. So that is my aspiration, yeah, to do whatever I could to give back to society. Because in my life as a physiotherapist, I believe that part of healing is very orthodox. So now we have the greatest tool on Mother Earth. I can freely say that because I'm no longer under the employment of the hospital. I work on my own. I do freelance physio. But yet again, I will share to those that need to hear from me, and if there's a connection, then I will share to them. So I can freely say about that because I can really see the healing aspects of my daughter. That is a beautiful example. And for healing to take place, I would say you need 3 ingredients, yeah? Acknowledgement, acceptance, and letting go. If you don't have acknowledgement, if you don't have acceptance, if you don't have been able to let go, healing will be very, very difficult to achieve. So for me, I really, really took that into my practice. And this is what we have in our emotional freedom healing, you see. So I always talk about these three areas. That's why the line says, I am accepting this manifest. This is very powerful, yeah? I'm accepting this manifest. One moment. I'm consciously accepting this manifest. I'm forgiving and forgetting. So this concept of these 3 ingredients have been ingrained to me even before I know PVH, because last time I had these skin issues, eczema, and it was because of my emotions, you see. And my Dr. Andrew Huang used to say to me, Kim, you have to acknowledge, accept, and then let go. And that was my journey into healing myself through positive mindset of acknowledging, accepting, and letting go. And then with PVH, I see it more clearly, you see. And I'm healed now of my skin issues. And my doctor, last time before I know of PVH, she told me, Kim, don't write your book. You always want to document and write. Don't write. Because when you write, it's published, people that have your book will be carrying the energy of your condition. When they read it, in a way, the transference of thought is around, and you are still embroiled in that environment of energy transfer. So don't write your book. So I listened to him, I didn't write my book. So in the end, all my data that I have written, I have drawn, I have compiled, I let it go, and that's how I heal. And with PVH, I met Sister Mohana, and she also helped me a lot in emotional freedom healing. And with Jean Tan at that time, Lily Gun, I think Chitra, they formed a G-Meet, you see, a G-Meet in Singapore, and I tuned in. And that was how my healing propels to greater heights. I really learned to heal myself by acknowledging, accepting, and letting go. And then with the healing wand, I did my emotional freedom healing. And Sister Mohana also rewrote my EFH, and she turned it 360 degrees for me. And that is very powerful. How I learned to accept my daughter's condition, and I let the energy flow. And it was this acceptance and energy flow that finally embraced it all. And now I can say I I am taking things in my stride, and I do much well now with that aspects of accepting, acknowledgement, and letting go. So with emotional freedom healing, that is a greater dimension of our healing. Yeah, we uh, we learn to accept, we learn to acknowledge, accept, and then let go. But it's not easy. But once we achieve that, healing takes place at a different dimension. So another thing I want to share is we there are anti-PVH people out there who always, these people who are anti-PVH, they think that PVH will break the family, will break the family. I don't hesitate to say, yeah, break the family. But I must attest that it doesn't, because in my experience, in my journey now, I can see PVH really blends in with my family. No doubt it would take time for my daughter to eventually pick up the wands and heal herself. She knows I'm healing him. She knows that I'm healing her. But she does not really practice, you see. But she allows me to heal her. So one day I hope, I pray that she will embrace PVH. That is my most deep prayer for her. And my husband also, he is gradually, I can see the signs, he's accepting it. So my journey in life is, against all odds, don't say cannot. It can. With the will of divine, things will open its door to you, and you persevere, and everything will fall into place. I used to practice PVH in my library, behind closed doors, reading my affirmation, healing myself. But now no more. I can pick up the wands and heal in front of my husband. No doubt he doesn't read affirmations nor practice PVH, but slowly and surely, one day I believe he will. When he sees the light in me, hopefully he will see everything is brighter, and hopefully he will embrace PVH. So to the anti-PVH people out there who says PVH breaks family, please don't say that. Unfortunately, my neighbors who is opposite me, she was a very, very staunch practitioner of PVH, but then because of something happened, she break it off, you see, and she blames PVH. But of course, we are at different levels of communication. I cannot really talk to her on these issues. But one day, with divine plan and direction, I hope she can see a greater dimension to it, that it is not actually PVH that breaks her family, but it is something else, something more than that. By the way, she's Hindu, Hindu, and they have different practice. I'm a Buddhist, but I'm not really much into rituals and puja. I only embrace the teachings of Buddha, because Buddha's teaching is evergreen. I don't do chanting anymore. I've stopped chanting. I don't do pujas. But I respect my family when I go to Chengbing, the time where we pay respect to our dearly departed ones. We we clean the tombs and all that, we pray, I still follow, because that is just an act of what you call respect for my existing uh, relatives that are actively doing the rituals. So I do it as a form of respect. I would pick up the joss stick and pray. But that's as much as I do, because I don't do ancestral worship anymore. But I love them in my heart, and that's the most beautiful thing. The soul is already elevated. No more clinging on to the rituals, to the practice. And this is something that one day I'll share to you all about my grandmother, how she was with me for more than 25 years, and she was elevated just recently in 2022, I would say, 2023, or rather 2022, when I found out from Sir that her soul has been elevated, and she was my guardian angel. All this time during the 28 years, she was my guardian angel. And I would believe so, because it was spoken to me by a clairvoyant, and Sir checked and said, yeah, no more, her soul has been elevated. And that was also the soul elevation, you see, song. Whenever Sir say, think of your loved ones, I think of her. So my encounters with the soul elevation song, and how Sir help to elevate souls that are close to you. When he says, think of your loved ones, I immediately think of my grandma. And this really gel my practice in PVH, because PVH has such a great modality, such a great what you call tool that Sir empowered us to do within our own homes for safety. We do the right protocols. We elevate souls that happen to be nearby. Yeah, we play it around our own homes. And that is something that I hold dearly. I used to be very frightened. Not to say frightened. I used to be very reserved about playing the soul elevation song. But after my grandma's soul has been elevated, then my father, and then so many, a few, personnels like my patient, all that, it was confirmed through inquiry through the wand. My patient soul also was elevated, and he was a Namyo Renge-kyo patient, you see, and Mr. Chan was his name. So to me, we are doing the greatest dana when we help them to find their path back to the causal body for adjudication. The adjudication is the causal body where they are judged, where they present themselves to the great karmic board. And that is something very, very beautiful that we can do for them. And it's one of the greatest dana, I would say, dana, that money cannot buy, that doesn't involve money, that we do it selflessly out of compassion, love, and respect for our dearly departed souls. So it could be our own family, it could be the departed souls who are wandering souls that happen to see us as light, and they come to us, you see. So don't be frightened to play the soul elevation song. And this is one of my what you call my practice, that I play the soul elevation song every day without fail in the morning protocol that I do for myself. And apart from following Sir online, I do play the soul elevation song as part of my morning ritual. And I have no qualms about it, because we follow the right protocols as Sir guided us, how to do the soul elevation song. Place page 1 for the soul to read, and we hold page 7 at our ajna chakra, or if we are very serious practitioner, you hold the wand at your ajna.